This is my favorite question I got from the Instagram section, so I saved it for last on this part. Um, how can athletes better themselves from a coach's perspective? What training tips do you recommend to help all around athletes? I love this question. This is fantastic. So I have a few things kind of typed out here that I kind of wanted to hit on. Um, First, consistent training, right? Consistent all the way year round. I'm not saying like kill your body, but like, hey, if this is something you want to do, whatever, whether it's just staying in shape or whether it's, you want to play a sport, whatever, you got to stay in shape, train all year round. It's not just when you want to, right? Everyone can train when you want to. Like, shoot, hey, I'm a fat guy nowadays. I get it. But like, hey, I can even go work out when I want to, but it's about when you don't want to, when it's like, oh man, I had a tough day today, you know? And hey, I'll tell you, straight up, I'm guilty of it as well, right? I'm very guilty of it as well. Um, and that's something I'm trying to personally get much better at, throughout this next little phase of my life of being like, hey, if I'm going to be preaching this to all these kids, I need to also be following more of that. And that's something I'm trying to clean up in a lot of aspects of my life when it comes to that. So train consistently, not when you want to, train when you don't want to. The other, I've got a few things to say. Goal setting on this, right? Have not just realistic and attainable goals, but having measurable goals, right? Not just something of like, oh, I want to go win, if it's an individual, I want to go win the league. It's like, okay, that is a great goal. That is fantastic goal, right? But what if you do, I'm just powerlifting, for instance, right? Let's just say you gain 140 pounds on your bench, something absolutely insane, right? But then you got a couple guys or girls that are just it's just like have something measurable for you. Like I want to improve this much at this, right? I want to be able to improve 20 pounds on my clean. I want to be able to do this. I think having those attainable and measurable goals are really important. Um, Something that I think is really important is fundamentals to your sport. If you're a basketball player, football player, baseball player, any of it, even if you're just, again, lifting or whatever, it's like, hey, getting the fundamentals down is huge, especially like if you're in, a smaller community, not even just a smaller community, but like a state like a Kansas where we're at, right? Where it's maybe not as competitive as some other states like Texas or Florida or California. Like, hey, especially early on, if you're young, getting in that freshman, sophomore year, having good fundamentals can get you on the court, floor, field, whatever, a lot quicker, I think that's fundamentals, getting the key little aspects down and just being fundamentally sound is key in everything. Strength and conditioning, right? Be a weight room menace, right? Can't be scared of the weight room, you know? Be in there and stay in shape, right? Stay in shape. If you decide you're going to be bulking or whatever, make sure you're eating the right stuff. Don't just fill your body with junk, right? I hear kids tell me all the time being like, oh, I'm trying to, trying to bulk up. And it's like, okay, what'd you eat today? And, they'll literally look at me and be like, one, they'll say nothing. And I'm like, all right, don't tell me you're trying to gain weight. Or two, like, oh, I had like 2 Big Macs. I'm like, hey, you know, stay in shape, stay conditioned, I say don't just lift, do speed and agility work, do some sprint workouts. I know it's tough, build some cardio, right? But be a weight room menace. I'm one of those guys, I feel like no matter what sport you're doing, be in the weight room. It'll never hurt you. There's no sport that I can think of that lifting weights and getting stronger is a bad thing. I physically can't think of one. If you can, I'm still going to tell you you're wrong. I think being physically fit and stronger will help you in every single sport there is. Two more I got for you here. I know I'm kind of just ranting on this one, but hey, it's kind of what I do sometimes. Hydration, right? It's vital for fueling your workouts and maintaining health, just overall health in general, right? You're not hydrated and you're just working your ass off all the time, dude, you're gonna end up in a hospital, and you're not getting the full recovery. If you're not hydrated, you're not gonna get the full recovery. There's so many studies on that. And here's my thing. I think this last one that's the most important I feel like it gets the most overlooked. Sleep. Man, I get it. I understand. I understand completely where a lot of, athletes and young people are coming from of being like, I have this game, I have this, I have morning practice, and I feel for you because I feel like sleep is the most important thing for recovery, most important thing for gains, most important things for your brain. There's so many studies about that. And if you can get the proper recovery, sleep, you know, refuel your body, you're going to be so much better. So think about that. Just think about that. I know a lot of kids are going to go home and be like, oh, they want to text their girlfriends or I don't know, whatever they do. Stay up playing video games, play Fortnite with the boys. Think about getting some recovery. Okay. It's most important. So hopefully that kind of answers that. Again, I know I kind of just ranted, but it is what it is. I'm talking to myself today, so cut me some slack.